Why don't we call the meeting to order at 5:01 p.m. I think I want to begin with a roll call.
Chair.
All right, that's the recording delay.
Ben Beasley.
Here.
Vice Chair Adam Gonzalez.
Here.
Kurt Overmeyer.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Very good. We will open up with public comments. Is there anybody here in the room for a public comment? There doesn't appear to be anybody here. Is there anyone on Zoom who wants to make a remote comment? All right, we will move on. Review and adopt minutes of December 6th, 2023 Citizens Oversight Committee meeting. I did submit one typographical change to Heidi. Did anybody else have any changes to that? Can we have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All right, we'll do roll call as usual.
Chair Kevin Dayton.
Aye.
Ben Beasley.
Aye.
Vice Chair Adam Gonzalez.
Aye.
Kurt Overmeyer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
So one, just real quick, Mr. Dayton. So since we don't have anybody participating via Zoom, we do not have to do a roll call. So you still can if you would choose to, or you could just call for.
Okay, well, we did,
Yeah.
you know, thank you. Could have done a voice vote, but we're done now. And I think we have any other votes here scheduled.
No.
So why don't we, Ryan, go to review the financials for Measure I and the project updates. This is for October 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2023, the second quarter.
So you will be reviewing the first, there's two reports that we always do. We'll do the fiscal activity, then we'll do the warrant report. So this is for the second quarter fiscal activity for Measure I. We're only looking at Measure I. So this will be for fiscal activity or financial activity from October 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023. So we're just looking at that period of time. And as we've done in the past, if the committee would like to review and ask any questions, I think there's some time allocated for that.
Sure, since we have 5 pages, why don't we just take a minute here to look it over and you can ask questions, just refer to the page for it.
So with Belgrade Woods Elementary, the modernization is that dealing with the technology, like the computers that the kids can use, whereas we're talking about modernization of energy efficiency.
Well, we use the term modernization when we're upgrading the campus facilities. So when a modernization project for a campus can include multiple things. So it could be redoing the flooring, redoing the restrooms, window coverings, anything like that that's related to the campus. We just call it as kind of an overarching term modernization.
So modernization ties to the modernization of the asset. They're just
Yes,
increasing,
yeah.
not with anything that like tools like.
No, so that would be separate. from-
Okay, cool.
What would that be called?
We'll typically call that out separately. So as part of the modernization, it may include a technical component. So for example, let's say we build 5 new classrooms at a school site as part of the modernization project. We'll include equipment into that as part of the modernization. But if it's just specifics, let's say we're buying these TVs for across a campus, that'd be have its own separate project number. Depending on what it is, it could be, we'd call it something different, but it would be called out separately from the modernization.
Okay. So
It's a good question.
Does anybody else have questions about the financials for Measure I and project updates Q2?
I just want to know where you got a $4,800 geotech report.
20, what are you working
Page. What page is it? 10.
5? Yeah, that is under,
Cold Middle School transition. That's a smoking bargain.
it may not be the full amount, it just be, it could be a portion that was invoiced during that time.
Yeah, I've done 2 of those in the last 6 months and they were $10,500.
Yeah, it's probably not the full amount, it's just probably what was billed for that portion of time. We'd have to look at the full cost, but you're right, that seems low for a full geotech report.
All right, I don't see anyone here in the room or Zoom for remote comment, so we will move to the review warrant activity for Measure I, October 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2023. That's for the second quarter. Right?
Thank you. Similar to what we reviewed previously, but this is actually a look at the warrants for those particular projects, and then they're broken down by vendor. So you'll see at the very top on each page or on each section, what vendor that was, and then what projects they were that we had bills or warrants to that vendor for. That's consistent throughout. So you'll see, for example, on the first page, our document solutions, you'll see that there was multiple projects for that particular vendor, and that's how this report's broken down.
Great. There are, looks like there's about 35 pages here. Why don't we just look through, first, we'll do it in chunks. Why don't we look through page, it says 7 on the bottom, go from page 7 to 20. And see if there are any questions about that, and then we'll do the rest of them. Does anyone need more time for pages 7 through 20?
The only thing I had a question with, real quick is, the STEM upgrades on page 14. Hold on, make sure I got it right. Zoomed out. There you go, STEM modern, top of 14, STEM restroom modernization. So, is that a new designation for an area of buildings? The school?
Yeah, I think it's just the description to help them identify where the location is for the restroom modernization.
Okay.
So typically STEM stands for.
Yeah.
Science,
Yeah,
technology.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Is it, are there other areas? I find that, I can't formulate a question, I'm sorry.
If you have a question, you can always ask me after.
Sure.
All right, anyone else have any questions? Why don't we now look at pages 21 through 40. There's like 44.
Materials testing, is that for modernization? On page 28 at the bottom, is that, what exactly is that? What is materials testing?
That would be the, for testing for like hazardous materials and doing construction, modifying.
Actually, this is like pre-existing.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Take one more minute to look over solar. Are there any questions? Very good, and I don't see anyone here or on Zoom for public comment. So we will conclude that agenda item. Moving on to item F, discuss and approve annual report for 2022-23 fiscal year. Brian?
Thank you. So this is the annual report. So as part of the Citizens Oversight Committee's, one of the primary duties is to review the fiscal activity, review the bond program to make sure that the expenditures are in line with the ballot language, and they're being spent appropriately. And that concludes in the annual report that's ultimately delivered to the school board. So at the last meeting that we had, we presented to you a draft of this report, and this is for the report for fiscal year 22-23. So it's always a look back. And so this is the final report. If you choose to adopt it this evening, that will then be taken to our school board at the subsequent school board meeting, and we'll make sure that we let you know what date that is. And then this will get us caught up. The next report that you'll review will be at the end of this fiscal year, which will be the 23-24 fiscal year.
All right, so we had this on the last agenda and didn't have any proposed changes to this. Does anybody need a few minutes to look this over? Make sure we're all set?
As according to the language, I don't see the reason why it shouldn't move forward.
All right, probably we do need to vote here. Yes,
Just wanted to point out that there was a suggestion on page 2 where we have the pie chart that we label short-term and long-term, and you did do that.
yes. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, it's good to distinguish the two.
I agree. Well, this is to, if somebody says, why are you, buying, long-term bonds for, computer equipment that will wear out in a year? The answer is you use a short-term bonds for that. So that's why I think we wanted that to be noted. Very good. And because we're approving this, we will need a vote. Well, first, no public comment here. No one's here. No one's on Zoom. Someone make a motion to.
Oh, I'll motion.
Second.
So Adam Gonzalez, just go through the voting. And we clear.
Motion passes.
I just wanted to thank Jody for her hard work. All the reports that you see, she works very hard to make sure this happens. So a lot of the heavy lifting falls on her shoulder. Just thank you, Jody, for making it so.
Thank you, Jody, for that. Can we make sure, Ryan, when this comes before the school board, that Jody is credited? Now, usually I encourage, I'm assuming if I'm available, I'll be there to make comments as I have in the previous 4 years. Of course, it's always good if other bond oversight committee members can attend as well. So send it out to us and let us know. And we will do that. All I can say is that the school board's been very pleased with our work, and I expect the same will occur this year as well.
Absolutely.
Future meeting dates. Our next meeting will be on June 5th, 2024. Committee member comments. I did have one comment as we were looking through this. Of course, we all saw that the Monterey high school field has legal expenses. And I know back in our summer meeting in 2022, we got a chart showing each fiscal year and the legal fees and the environmental fees. And I think, Kurt, you asked about this last time. I know some people in the public will criticize. I think it's important for us to have an updated number for legal fees and environmental fees as this project progresses. And I'm hoping next year we'll finally see some construction expenditures for this rather than legal fees and environmental fees. I don't know if you have available, Ryan, a copy of the form that you produced for that December 2022 meeting, but it was excellent. Very simple and well, it'd be good to have it in mind.
So I can give you the costs to date, but it's not specific to just the legal or environmental fees. It would include the fees associated with the project to date, because as you know, we haven't started construction yet. So it's at 1.8 million now, but that, like I said, that's not just the legal fees or environmental fees. That would include any architectural fees, engineering fees, oversight fees, anything associated with that. But we can give a breakdown in a similar format that we've done in the past that showed just the legal environmental fees. So it's not confused with all of the fees that are associated with the project to date.
Would you be able to give a rough estimate about how much you think has been spent on design, engineering and other things actually related to construction?
Yeah, we could pull that out. So we'll have to pull those reports separately and we can pull that out.
Yeah, it's a bit of time, but I think it's important for the committee to.
Yeah, but also that amount is ongoing, so it's not concluded. And, yeah, we kind of have to be careful with that. We want to acknowledge it, but we don't want to put them on blast to where we become liable for something.
Oh, no, I think it's part of our oversight is
Yeah.
to get a total on that sort of thing, and it is of interest to the public.
Oh, for sure.
I think it's worth doing it. Obviously, we would not take a position on that here on the committee level, but if somebody wanted to speak as a private citizen at a school board meeting.
Yeah.
That's your right to do so, but yeah, we would be, because that's determined by the committee already to be a legitimate part of bond expenditure. You know, we don't really have any role beyond that.
Yeah, and it's kind of stuck in a bit of a twilight zone. That portion of the law. So it's not very. It's not common for something like this to happen with other school systems, so, yeah, but we do need to keep good records of the cause and effect, just in case for other school systems and other boards, so that they have a record of reflection for future. So they can see, okay, this is what happened during this time, how bad is it be for us, you know?
Well, I also think the public has a right to know just how much this one
Oh, sure.
attorney has cost our community.
But that one attorney is just one of many.
Right, but she's sued our school district, she sued two of our neighboring school districts. She sued the city of Seaside, she sued the city of Marina, she sued the city of Monterey, she sued the city of Carmel repeatedly, she sued the city of Pacific Grove repeatedly.
Mhm.
And I think that the public has a right to know how much of their tax dollars are going to.
Sure. My concern is that how many
To bring
people
us
she.
back.
Right, you have to be careful about getting out
Yeah.
of order. I
think.
think we'll leave it at
No, I'm not making.
it's the role of the oversight committee to do oversight, and this is a matter of public concern, so we just
Yeah.
like to get the current totals per fiscal year for environmental review costs and legal costs related to Monterey High School field.
Yeah, to stay objective about it, even though it's very hard to.
And I just want to compliment Mr. Altmeyer and your staff on pushing through that project and having bid documents out, and I've been led to understand, at least by some of the coaches, that you're about ready to demo the old press box and
We're getting close.
to move forward with, the first phases of the project, and you're to be commended for that.
Appreciate
It was a hassle unnecessarily. I'm glad that you're able to weather that storm. Keep it.
It's the right thing to do for the kids, but I appreciate you saying.
And on behalf of my son, he thanks you very much for arranging for him to get under the lights his senior year.
Second item for committee member comments from the chair is we have 3 vacancies. And I just got me informed that the school district did fulfill advertising and has done other promotionals. And I guess it's gonna be up to us to get out there among the community. And what we're looking for here is a parent of a enrolled student PTA member, somebody representing senior citizens, and a second parent of an enrolled student.
Yes, so please, if you have anybody who meets that criteria, send them our way. We would love to have a fully staffed committee as soon as possible, so. Well, I think Heidi, have you sent out the,
Yeah, so we had it posted most recently just this last month in February. I haven't received any inquiries as of yet. Marcy in our communications department has posted it on the district website and our district social media. Again, unfortunately, we have not received any response as of yet.
So quorum is based on the active committee members. Not
That is correct.
total. Is there a minimum now? You need. Let's say, for example, 2 of us were here tomorrow. Would you have a committee of 2? No.
this is a very, very tough spot, but the way
There has to be a
that.
minimum of 3. Yes, I use that written or no.
The way that the bylaws are written, I believe it's a quorum of the current seated members.
Right.
as the
Yes.
Bylaws are written, so. Hopefully, we don't get down to fewer than what we have now. But there, we do have provisions in the bylaws.
Okay,
Well, one thing I could send an email to the school board. They actually should be, leaders here in recruiting people for their district oversight committee. So maybe it's time to get them involved. And they may know people who are, interested and active within their districts who could apply for this sort of thing. We'll do it, but I think the school board can be involved too. Are there any other comments?
With your permission, I'd like to send out the information about this to the various team snaps in Monterey High. If anybody else has, I mean, that's a good way to get in touch with parents that are pretty active in their kids' lives.
Yep, absolutely. Spread the word, and I think that'd be.
I'll email you the application, everything, so you have it handy.
Awesome, thank you.
I've been trying word of mouth, but just trying to find someone that would qualify is difficult. Because I found a lot of people that are interested in doing their part. And, but they're not in Salinas, King City. It just, so I guess it's my sphere of influence is not, it's not, bleeding over into the areas where they need to be, so. You guys have any parties, invite me.
senior citizen to be 55 or over, or somebody just represents that community?
They have to represent a senior citizens organization.
Okay. So the Carmel Foundation could be something like.
Yeah, as long as it's a representative or represents that group or they could be part of it. Typically, it is somebody who is part of that age group that represents it.
And it is required in the education code, so, that's why they have these various categories. Any other comments? All right, we are adjourned at 5:28.
Okay, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.